Hey, my name is DJ, and today I'm going to be taking this real social media post from Instagram and creating a brand new version using my professional design experience to help you improve your design skills to help you create more engaging posts. Let's not waste any time. Let's get into it. All right, so today we have a quote post from ASA Consultancy. I think they're a marketing consultant agency. It seems like they have a quote from Hewlett-Packard. Marketing is too important to be left to the marketing department. First, let's start with branding. I think that they're doing a really good job at keeping their brand identity consistent. I took a look at their Instagram page. It's a pretty consistent color palette throughout, so this definitely falls within their brand identity, and if someone saw this post, they'd know it's from them. In terms of overall composition, I think they're doing a pretty decent job here. They have David Packard's image with the quote next to him. I think it's sort of implied and most people will understand that is a quote from the person in the picture. I think this post's biggest downfall falls into three different categories. Way too much contrast, no sense of direction, and too many sort of icons and calls to action. In terms of contrast, there's just too many areas where they're using high contrast in almost every section of the post. For instance, we have this boxed in marketing of the week. We have the quote. We have the lower third. But we also have this icon. We have these icons. We have their logo down here. The contrast is so much that your eyes don't have a place to rest. And all of this contrast plays into the sense of direction. I personally believe that the highest form of contrast should be saved for the most important content on the post, which would be the quote itself. And last but not least, sort of a repetitive pattern that we see with these types of posts, an excessive amount of calls to action. We have their Instagram handle here, we have all of their other social media channels here. We even have an embedded in the image save button. That one kind of gets me speechless. I'm not sure the logic behind that. But giving an inspirational quote and then sort of shoving all of these asks down their throat is so overwhelming, and you can see how populated visually this post is. It's beyond overwhelming. It's so busy. I have a hard time looking at it, to be honest.
Won't you just look at it?
I think I've poked enough holes in this post for one day. Let's bring it to the workshop and give it an upgrade. All right, I think this cleaned up pretty good. Let's start out with talking about what's the most important piece of this post, which is the quote. I decided to take the same brand guidelines that they have on their social media page and just apply all of the principles that we're talking about in terms of high contrast to the quote itself. I even decided to save the highest form of contrast, black and white, for the first two lines of text, highlighting marketing is too important. I wanted this to catch the viewer's eye first. If they value marketing like this company values marketing, then they're probably more likely to continue to read. To say I trimmed the fat on this post, I think is an understatement. I basically boiled it down to three elements. So we have the quote, we have who said it, and the company itself. And if they like the quote, if they're inspired, if it's relatable, then they'll probably look at the rest of the account. If not, they'll continue to scroll and they move on with their lives. But I'm not going to fill and bombard them with excessive amounts of calls to action. The last adjustment I made to help the sense of direction is I actually flipped the image. Even though the lighting and everything is facing to the right, his eye line is actually looking to the left. I also right aligned all of the text so that it was moving along in the same direction as David's eye line. The revisions that I made on this post were not that complex. When you ask the big questions, when you ask why, the design decisions that you make become a lot simpler. Now the viewer's eyes have a place to rest, and now I can rest. Thank you so much for watching. Hope you learned something today. If there's an Instagram post that you'd like me to redesign or upgrade, just leave a link down in the comments. Other than that, I'll see you next time.